So over the past 3 nights I've been busy with an upgrade in the studio, and on the first night I noticed something that was, well, pretty cute hanging around nearby. I left it, didn't pay it much mind, but the next night I came in and I saw this marvel, this wow, it was so good it was actually just rude. Call it nature's little artist. Floor to ceiling anchors for this 60 centimeter, it's probably like 24 inches, spider's web made by a spiny orb weaver. Most people would probably consider that something you don't want to go close to. I don't believe it's dangerous to humans though. Is it? Well, if it is, it's probably a bit late now. Besides the point, the perfection had me. It was looking around and saying that every measurement was practically perfect. Every connection was evenly spaced. The thickness of the web was consistent. Even the little anchors had little fingers on them. And like extra bits of webbing to help make sure it sticks. Absolutely amazing. Should have given him a name. Point is that kind of thing, it's like Spider-Man working, that kind of thing is exactly what almost exactly what your fascia looks like on the inside of you. Everybody has fascia, every living animal, as far as I'm concerned. It surrounds and permeates almost everything within the body, or just about everything. It even has little nerves with it. So it's obviously a sensory organ that responds to stimulus, but well, maybe medicine and science decides to wake up to that eventually. Actually, no, I take it back. I'm sure it's considered an organ now. Where did I see that? Man, it's kind of funny actually. There's still people that ask me, how do you keep up with these trends, with the trends in the industry? Most of the time I try to stay ahead of it. See, this organ plays more than just a simple role in the body. Think of it like, you might find some reviews on my page, actually on my Google map link, Google link, whatever, where some men would have gone from being almost bedridden to being able to work out the next day at close to 100%. Not the next day, but probably within that week. Something that I imagine a lot of people are just profiting off that misunderstanding, as expected. Fascia is also something that's responsive not just to mechanical stress like that. So let's say you have a little injury or tear somewhere in one of the muscles, just like the roots on all these trees, they're helping them all to communicate with each other, telling each other where the better resources are, where the threats are, to avoid and move closer to something. It's the exact same with the fascia. The fascia will lock up for you to protect the surrounding area from that little tear spreading, getting worse. It's assuming it's functioning properly. function itself can go down when you say your flexibility isn't as important, when you say your hydration isn't as important. Very important for this kind of thing. There's one more, I can't get to it now. So as I was saying, the mechanical stimulus, there's the neurological one as well. Yes, trauma can actually affect this. I don't know if there is a book, yes, how trauma is something on the body. I don't know, if you know it, please comment what it is. I cannot for the life of me remember it now. How trauma is kept in the body. Anyway, back to where I was. Mechanical stimulus, neurological stimulus, and maybe a bit of temperature, thermal as well. But if you were lucky enough to be able to dissect a cadaver at one point, you would notice that it's actually moved out of the way and almost tossed aside just to expose the bones, the organs, and the muscles, maybe even some nerves and veins. But it's really just pushed under the rug, which is kind of a joke, because this kind of thing is something that helps you transfer and transmit energy, movement, just like the muscles do, but in unison with the muscles. Like I said earlier, remember the just because simply by encapsulating the muscles, it helps add to the muscle tone. Some words are slipping my mind now. Cool to think about, but it literally looks like Spider-Man was inside of you and saw everything falling apart and decided to have a field day. It can change its state too also, did you know that? It can become more loose, more supple, and more tough. A bit stiffer in different situations. Some people say it's because, well, adrenaline hits, it's going to loosen itself up and become more viscous. I'm not too sure on that just yet. This is just like we'll call it an introduction. Introduction to something that you are going to hear about in the next 10 years for sure. An introduction to something that is going to be mainstream soon. Something that people are sleeping on. And we know the fitness industry, it's so slow. Right now it's just been reacting to the recent changes. It's just been reacting and adopting trends that allow for a more aesthetic look, a more aesthetic appeal. All those new exercises you've been seeing lately, priority has been all those new exercises you have seen. Main priority has been for the camera. Absolute trash. I don't use half of it. I don't use most of it actually. I had the privilege of being in a group class recently where they actually had stiff leg deadlifts as part of it. You know, people like to do those, what is that variation? Literally half reps. I can't even remember the name now. If you remember that, please comment it also. The point is, hopefully we will get over this little stage. Society will get over the stage where everything is built up for the aesthetic appeal, made for the gram. Nothing useful in essence. It's attracting people based on what they see and trying to capitalize on that. Long story short, jump onto it now. It can make you faster, more powerful, more explosive. You just learn how to look after your body while taking your fascia into account. As me, blessings.